Hello everyone, welcome to Utility Jude's ration size programmes. In these short films I'll be telling you all about food in Britain in World War II. So what were those items that were guaranteed by the government that we could all have? Well, I have spoken first of all about meat. Now meat was very different to the other foods on the weekly ration in that instead of being rationed by how much it weighed, put in the scales like every other item on your week's ration, this was rationed by how much it cost. Now every person was allowed to buy 1 shilling and twopence worth of meat each week. Now how much would that be? Well, it's very difficult to say because meat is not all the same. You can have a piece of cow that comes from this area, which is really succulent, tasty meat, and that costs a lot of money. So you wouldn't get that much for your 1 shilling and twopence worth. However, a piece of meat that came from here, a much cheaper, chewier bit of meat, a bit of the calf leg, that is much cheaper. It's not so good and succulent meat. You have to cook it for longer. It can be fatty, it can be gristly. That would be much cheaper. So for my 1 shilling and twopence worth, I would get more of that than that piece of sirloin or rump, that nice piece of meat. So it did depend on which cut of meat, and cut is what we use to describe where on the animal it comes from, would make a difference to how much meat you had a week. But it wasn't very much and it didn't go very far. 1 shilling and twopence worth for each person. If you were a child over 6, you'd have the same as me. Younger children would get half the meat ration. So that's my meat. Now bacon and ham, gammon of course, comes from a pig. Now this was rationed by weight. You were allowed 4 ounces of either bacon or ham a week, and 4 ounces would be about 1 large middle rasher of bacon like that each. There are 2 of us here, got 2 rashers of bacon a week for us to use for meals as well. Now of course what we think of when we think of cows is milk, and the government felt that milk was very important. So the animals that we did tend to keep were dairy cattle, cows that give us milk, to ensure that we had a good supply of milk. Now as an adult I would have between 2 to 3 pints of milk. I've already used some of this in my tea. 3 pints of milk a week each. Whereas you children, you would have extra. If you were young, you would have 1 whole pint of milk a day. So that would mean you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pints of milk a week. Much more than my 2 or 3 pints of milk a week. Now because the government felt that milk was very important, they didn't want to use it too much in making butter. They thought that it was better to have it as milk than to have it as butter. And I've been shopping for my fat ration today as well. And that is my personal amount of butter, just 2 ounces of butter for the whole week for me to put on my bread, to use in cooking. It doesn't go very far. And of course the other thing that we make, the other food item that we make from milk is of course cheese. And because they wanted to use cow's milk for milk rather than the butter and the cheese, we were rationed by how much cheese we could have each week. Just 3 ounces of cheese. Not a lot, but it did go a long way, because you would use that cheese not in sandwiches like we do today, cheese on toast, that would disappear very, very quickly. But what I would do with cheese in my wartime kitchen is I would use that to cook suppers and main meals with. And actually 3 ounces of cheese will go quite a long way when you're using it to make a meal with lots of potatoes and other food items as well. But certainly not enough to have slices of cheese in a cheese sandwich during the week. Now the other fats that we have to use in the wartime kitchen, of course, is lard. Now lard is animal fat. It is made into a block white fat. I will use that for frying. If I was frying some chips or some other meal, I would pop that in a frying pan. Although it looks solid to begin with, when you heat that, that becomes liquid, just like the oils that possibly the people at home who cook for you would use. And then once it gets cold, it goes back to a white fat again, a solid white fat. Or you could use it as it is and rub it in to flour to make some pastry like I do. Now margarine is the other fat that we're allowed, 4 ounces. Now I will use this for putting on my bread, spreading in sandwiches, and I'll also have to use that for making my cakes too. Just 4 ounces of margarine for each person per week. Now another item which was in very short supply, because it was one of those items that we were before the war bringing in vast quantities on ships, is sugar. Now we all eat a lot of sugar, whether we have it on our cereal, whether we have it in our tea or coffee, whether we use it to make cakes or nice sweet puddings. We do get through quite a lot of sugar every week. Normally this came from hot countries, but we wanted to try to make our own sugar so that we didn't have to bring so much in. We did start growing lots more sugar beets, and many sugar factories have started up during the war to produce more sugar, but there still isn't enough for what we all want. So to ensure fair shares for all, the government have rationed us to only being able to buy ½ a pound of sugar a week. Now of course, because sugar was in short supply, those other items that I would buy normally that are full of sugar are for me in short supply too. Now the first item I'm showing you is jam. Jam, if you've ever seen anyone at home making it, is jam packed with sugar. There's an awful lot of fruit in it, strawberries or plums or cherries, but there's an awful lot of sugar too. And so because we didn't have a lot of sugar, we can't make much jam. So to stop people buying more jam than others, this was rationed too. And it was rationed to about a quarter of a pound of jam a week per person. Now the other item, of course, which is full of sugar, which I'm sure a lot of you do enjoy, and that's sweets. Sweets are mainly sugar. And of course, with only a small amount of sugar, that meant that we couldn't make lots of sweets. So to ensure that everybody had a fair share of the sweets that were available, we were all rationed to what worked out about 3 ounces of sweets a week. 3 ounces in weight. You would go to your sweet shop and buy 3 ounces of sweets. How much would you get in your bag of sweets? Well, it would be about 8 toffees, humbugs, boiled sweets, 8 or 9 in that sweet ration for every week. So you couldn't eat them all at once. You'd have to make them last like I do and only have one every day. Now, one thing that I have on my ration that you as a child wouldn't have is tea. It comes a very long way away, and of course it's one of those items that has to come to us in the ships. Now, if you've had a bit of a shock or a bit of a scare, sometimes a cup of tea makes you feel better. Now, how much was 2 ounces of tea? It's about that much. And if you notice, unlike most of the tea that people drink today, it's not in a little paper bag as a tea bag. It comes loose as tea leaves. And we would use that in our teapot, pour it out, and at the end of making tea, you'd have these soggy, damp tea leaves in your teapot, your tea strainer, or like me, in the bottom of my cup of tea. Now, I'm not going to waste that because I can use those tea leaves again. I will put them on a plate and let them dry out, and then I should be able to use them again in another pot of tea. It would be a bit like you making a cup of tea with a tea bag, popping outside, hanging it up on the washing line, letting it dry, bringing it back in and making another cup of tea. But that is what we have to do to make sure our 2 ounces of tea lasts us all week, so we don't run out of having a nice cuppa. Now, you didn't have tea in your ration, but what you would have that I didn't have, whoever looked after you at home would be able to purchase a bottle of concentrated orange juice, and this would be used to make you drinks, and it was very good for you, because one thing we were very short of was citrus fruits, oranges, lemons, the types of fruits that come from tropical countries. We did have a few oranges in, and they would be allowed only for you or mums that were expecting babies. In the next programme, we're going to talk about that food that was rationed. Now, eggs.